What's up guys, Aaron here, back with another video here today on AGBCars. Today we're talking about the new McLaren livery that was unveiled via Twitter images on Wednesday from the McLaren F1 team. And yeah, so when I first saw the pictures on Wednesday, my initial reaction was, it wasn't really what I was expecting. I think a lot of people really wanted it to be kind of white and orange, white and red, back to sort of when McLaren had their dominant era in the 1980s, and that really would have looked very well. And this, they've gone for kind of just black with the famous McLaren red arrows on it, and like, I don't hate it. I don't think it looks bad, but I think they could have done a lot better, because it really hasn't changed that much, and I was really expecting something big, because, well, I suppose I expected something really big at the start of the season, since they had the new engine partner in Honda, and I thought they were going to come out with sort of a radically new design on their car, but they didn't. They stayed with the silver, which is kind of symbolic, I suppose, to the Mercedes engine who they had for years, and the Mercedes engine that they had for the last probably around 20 years was what sort of gave the McLaren its kind of silvery grey colour, and they haven't really changed much. I mean, and it's not a black car actually. If you really look close, it's not black. It's very dark grey, and the only thing they really did was paint the engine cover the same dark grey, because the side air vents and all the front of the nose really hasn't changed. It just got a little bit darker, but even the design of the red arrows is still the same and still practically what it was. It still looks really bare as well, and McLaren still don't have a title sponsor. They have CNN on the front wing end plate, and then of course Mobil is on the engine cover with Honda, but they do not have a title sponsor, and they haven't for a few years. Last year they didn't, and I'm not quite sure. I think they still had Vodafone in 2013, but I'm not quite sure. But it really looks kind of bare, and it's sad to see what is supposed to be a great team that is supposed to be running at the front not to have that title sponsor. But back to how it looks. So I wasn't really impressed. I didn't really know what to make of it at first. But now, I'm recording this now on the Friday 8th of May, and it's just after free practice 2 of the Spanish Grand Prix. And I was able to see the last bit of that on television, and I must admit that it did look quite good. So I think in the flesh and on track it does look a bit better. I just sort of wish they had done more with it, and done a bit of a more sort of a bigger statement than what they have now, and something different altogether, because Honda kind of deserves its own like stamp on F1, as opposed to staying with the silvery grey that they had with the Mercedes. So that's really just how I feel. Also, just a quick note that in free practice 2 this afternoon, Jenson Button was the 7th fastest car, and Fernando Alonso was the 11th fastest car. So McLaren really looked to have made a vast improvement over the break going into the European season. So that's great to see. They might even get points this race. I'm not really sure now. They might have just been running extremely low fuel qualifying runs, and others weren't on the Friday, but who knows. So certainly things looking a lot better for them. So that's it for me. As always, like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitter, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.